Now this is the perfect area for a pergola if I ever saw one. That's a word you don't use very often. Pergola?
No, we don't.
What are you guys going to use it for?
Well, we thought about putting the 2 chairs back here, and they're ready to go, make it a reading area, a nice little way to get away.
Little kind of cozy nook sort of,
Yes, yes.
And what about down the road? Any other plans for it?
We were thinking maybe a hot tub would be a really nice touch.
Like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Our first step is to determine where exactly to sink the pergola's 6 posts. They must be lined up perfectly straight and parallel to each other. After checking with the utility companies to make sure the area was clear of underground gas, water, and electric lines, I marked the first corner post by driving in a stake. What we hadn't planned on, though, was the rain shower that came through here, so things have gotten a little bit damp. I'm convinced we can work around the showers. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, that's good. Take it, maybe one more wrap, and then just lay the string out this way. Now what we've done for the front line or front edge of our pergola, use this piece of 2x2. It's perfectly straight. Now I'm going to take this oversized right triangle right here, put the base of it up against that 2x2 just like that. Bring it up so that the edge of it is right at the string there.
All ready?
Now what we want to do is move this string back and forth, left and right, until it's perfectly parallel with this edge right here. That guarantees us that this angle right in here is a right angle or 90 degrees.
How's that look,
Come
Ron?
over here. Well, you know what? I'm going to trust your eye.
That's not always a good thing.
Oh, those are the kinds of comments
yours.
Ron never makes. Husbands can make them. Okay, that's great. So I want to stay right on the edge of your line,
Steak.
as opposed to your hand.
Yes.
How am I doing?
You're doing fine so far.
Whoop.
I'm afraid to watch.
Right, now this is our front corner post here. Now we want to locate the 2 on the side. So the first one's going to be at 48. There you go. And just tie that off. Probably 1 knot will do it. You can
Okay.
slide it. No, you're right on the money. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, then
That's
move
great.
down to 96, which will be our rear corner post. And do the same thing.
We line up stakes alongside each ribbon and drive them in. Then we repeat the entire process on the other side, and our 6 post locations are staked out.
Now this is a bucket. I'm
Yeah.
going to take this piece of brick and put it in here. Oh, how about that? No bottom in the bucket.
Why?
Why? I'm glad you asked that. I'm going to use this as sort of a marking gauge. I'm going to put this right over that stake, which is the center of the hole that we want to dig now for our post. And then you've got some chalk here. This is the same chalk you use for a chalk line. And what I want you guys to do is just to go around here and put this chalk right at the base of the bucket like this.
Okay.
And what
can
we'll
do
end
that.
up with, I'll do this one and I'll hand off to you because I want to show you what we're going to have here. When we take the bucket away, we get a perfectly round circle centered right over the stake.
Thank you. That's good.
Now this is a post hole digger. Its sole aim in life is to dig holes. Loves to dig holes. Unfortunately, it can't do it by itself.
Didn't think so.
It's a lot of work for one guy to do by himself.
Glad you're here.
Now you may think that this is a lot of concrete for 6 holes right here. But the reason we have so much, and this isn't all of it by the way, is that we had to make these holes 3 feet deep. Why? Well, because we're in hurricane country here, and the building department says we've got to go down at least that far to keep this stable in a high wind situation. So we're actually a little over 3 feet because I want you to take some of this. Francis, why don't you take this? This is just crushed rock.
Okay.
And pour about 2 or 3 inches in the bottom. Just give us some drainage underneath.
The drainage provided by the crushed rock will help keep the ends of the post from soaking up moisture and rotting. And considering the effort it takes to drop them into place, well, they'd better last as long as possible.
Definitely is heavy. Keep it coming straight up.
No much
Straight
use
up.
on this part.
Okay. Okay, good. It's down.
Go.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Now this is a post level right here. It's going to strap right on. This will let us know that the post is vertical or plumb in both this plane and this plane, without her having to hold a level up there, all right?
Okay.
I clamp some temporary braces onto the post for added support as we make the incremental adjustments necessary to reach the perfectly vertical state known as plumb.
Okay, that's it. Now we're plumb or vertical in both directions.
Now, to keep the posts in position while we add concrete, we drive in a stake near the bottom of the brace and clamp the two together. Next, we pour in the dry concrete and add a gallon of water per bag. Now, this is quick-setting concrete and requires no mixing. What could be easier?
All right, you see this, Francis? You know what
Yes.
that is?
No?
It's a support. As I get up in years, I do this more and more. Instead of kind of holding heavy boards like this, I tack that on there. Now, not that you're getting up in years. I didn't want to imply that.
I haven't
But I
noticed
want to
it.
make this easy for you.
We drive a couple of screws through pre-drilled shank holes to temporarily attach our first beam, then the second beam to the post. The beams will be permanently attached with carriage bolts. That means we'll have to drill very deep shank holes all the way through the two beams as well as the post.
Now, that's a big drill bit, huh?
That's a very big
That's what it's going to
drill
take
bit.
to go all the way through here.
If I make a mistake with that, I'm in big trouble.
All right,
Getting more confident in you.
but you won't,
Okay.
because you have mastered the drill. Okay, guys, what I've done is I've marked two holes up here on a diagonal. And I
Okay.
put X's. You see where they
Yes,
are?
I do.
Placing the bolts diagonally like this reduces the chance of the post splitting later on.
All right, and Bill is off to an early lead, but Francis seems to be catching up as both of them drill aggressively into the third turn. Francis, though, pulling up quickly, closing that gap. This is going to be a very tight race. There you go. All right.
Very nice. Very
All
nice.
right, well, you win for perseverance, and you left the drill bit in there, which means we won't have to put a bolt in that hole.
Well, I really do like that drill bit. So we decide to replace it with carriage bolts, which we drive in, secure with nuts and washers, then tighten with a socket wrench.
Well, this is our rafter, the first one we're going to put up, guys, and we've got that same chamfer on the edge here, on the end that we have on our beams. So I'm going to hand this up to you. So, Bill, if you got that end, and Francis this end, just set it right up on top of the beam there.
Okay.
And then bring it out to me a little bit further over this way.
Since Orlando is susceptible to hurricanes, we need to attach these rafters as securely as possible. These hurricane clips are the way to do that. I temporarily hold them in place with a screw, then hammer in hot-dipped galvanized bracket nails. We use a spacer board to create an equal distance between each rafter.
So where do you want this?
A little to the right, Ron, if you would.
Your right or my right?
Yeah, my right.
I like it a little to the left.
To the left? Hey, you know what? I got a hook here. I'm going to hang it right here. How's that look?
Looks good. I enjoy sitting here watching you do some work.
Yeah, you know, I meant to talk to you about that. The way this is supposed to work, Bill, is I watch you work and I'm the coach. But you know, this hasn't quite turned out that way.
I didn't realize that.
You guys put me to quite a bit of hard
Put
work.
you to
Actually,
work.
you did
We
all the
did.
hard work, and it turned out great.
It's beautiful.
You know, I can just picture this pergola in a few short months with climbing vines providing a cool green canopy across the rafters. And when Bill and Francis install that hot tub underneath, well, it will be their personal kingdom and just as magical as any other here in Orlando.